Hey everybody, welcome to Geekoholics Anonymous, episode 180. I'm your host, Rico, here with my co-host,
Dane Cody.
Dane Cody and I get together once a week, talk about video games, TV, movies, and or whatever the hell we like. Pretty much mostly video games, but, you know, a little bit of the rest too. And a whole lot of BS.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything too exciting to report over the last week. Or
No,
since
me
we
neither.
chatted last. I had a long weekend because I worked this weekend, which is really lame. I did get a
but we do have a long weekend coming up.
yeah. I did get a day of gaming to myself, which was kind of great.
Ooh, that's exciting.
That was really nice.
I thought I was going to get that this coming Monday, but I think my wife might actually have the same day off.
Oh, yeah. We have a long weekend coming up. I don't. I just have a normal weekend.
Boo.
But it's Remembrance Day.
I have a long weekend.
I would have if I didn't have to work this Saturday.
Boo.
But that's all right. Yeah. Shall we just get right into it, my friend?
I'm always into it.
If you've never been here before, we usually start the show with some what you've been playing, getting into the news and stuff, our PSAs, public service announcements, and free for all section. And man, I'm really bad and should ask for questions, and I always forget to. Or you guys are bad for not going to the Discord and just leaving us questions and giving Dane heck for all his wrong opinions.
Whoa. We are going to talk about this shortly. They are not wrong.
Yeah.
I am not alone in my thoughts on certain things.
Dane,
Yo.
what have you been playing?
Oh man, I feel kind of like an a-hole because I was giving you shit for this like 2 weeks ago. I may or may not have got Destiny 2 Forsaken and played a lot of it.
I saw that. I saw you online, and I'm like, what the? I'm like, he didn't buy Forsaken, but he's like level 40 or he's like on his way to 50. I'm like, he had to have bought the expansion. I'm like, what's going on here?
Stupid refer a friend thing sucked me in. I mean, I was gonna get it regardless. It was just kind of a matter of time, but they're doing the whole refer a friend thing where you can get some like exclusive gear and some cool loot. And then my best friend was like, hey, you should come play with me, so he sent me an invite, and so I caved.
Your best friend, which happens to be my other brother-in-law.
Yeah, exactly. So I downloaded it, had a bit of an itch to... It's like you get that Destiny itch, man, and I get it. You get it, I get it.
Oh, you don't have to tell me.
Yeah, no.
I'm straight up like
I'll be like, good. I don't really have like any interest in playing Destiny for a while, and then all of a sudden, like, I'll just be sitting at my computer and I'll look up and I'll see that Destiny 2 icon, and I'm like, yeah, I could play some fucking Destiny right now. That sounds all right. And then the next thing I know, the weekend has gone by, and all I've done is play Destiny 2. So that's kind of what happened in this case. I purchased Destiny 2 Forsaken. I played through the story mode. Beat it. It is really good. There's a ton of extra content in the game. Outside of that, like... I definitely get where people are saying, like, oh, the story kind of seems a bit short, but there's a ton of, like, after content to do.
All the dailies and weeklies and just...
Yeah, and even just, like, even this, like, after story stuff that, like, comes out of it, like, getting, you know, trying to get the Ace of Spades and trying to, like, you know, they send you down a bunch of paths to try and, like, get all this shit. And so, yeah, I mean, there's a ton of stuff to do. Obviously, the shooting in Destiny is amazing, so I think Gambit is awesome. I think Gambit is a lot of fun. I still hate the Crucible. I still think that the multiplayer in Destiny is shit. I don't care what anybody else says. I think it's terrible. Everybody's like, oh, you gotta have the right shit. And it's like, fuck that, man. Like, I'm not gonna grind my ass off to get, like, some cool, like, I don't know. Like, it's one thing for...
You don't have to grind. You'll get it. You'll get the good guns in time.
It's just one of those things where it's like, it's like in when I play like Call of Duty or I play a lot of like other multiplayer games, I feel like a lot of the time, like there's those moments where I'm like, oh, that son of a bitch, that was kind of hacks or whatever. Because of course you do, because we're all play video games. But a lot of the time, like when I get killed or when somebody shoots me, I'm like, okay, yep, he was just better than me. Whereas like the problem that I have with Destiny is like a lot of the time I'll get the drop on somebody, I'll be dropping stuff into them, and then they'll like either 2-shot me or 1-shot me or whatever. And it's like, oh, well, you know, he had the super hot Crucible gun right now. And it's just like, it just feels so much more of the times when I get killed in Destiny Crucible in the multiplayer that it is a gear problem and not a playing problem. And it like I hate that feeling.
Yeah,
like, and it doesn't make me want to play it.
I could see that. You gotta remember we're a year and a bit now, so it's the most hardcore people in there, right?
Totally. Like, and I get that. But it's weird. Like, you know, I definitely obviously have played like a ton of various FPSs and things like that, and it's a weird feeling where like, and I admit that obviously I don't have the time and this and that in these, you know, in the Crucible or whatever. But I guess my point, even at the beginning when I tried the Crucible, it has never once felt to me like this is a good multiplayer, like I should play more of this and I want to get good at it. It just doesn't. Like, the flow is bad. Like, just the fact that the weapon variation is so great. I don't know, like, there's, like, in a Call of Duty or a Battlefield or whatever, there's a certain kind of level where, like, yeah, some guns are kind of better than others, but not really.
It's probably
like,
a little more balanced.
Yeah, whereas, like, Destiny, it's, like, you know, because all the guns have all these perks and this and that and the other thing, it's, like, some guns are just, like one-shot fucking kills every time, and you know, I'm like, it's just, yeah, and it just feels kind of shitty.
Yeah, I've been in some matches against some guys where it's like, ugh, this is just annoying, but
yeah,
you know, and then there's lots of matches where I'm that asshole getting 33 kills, and I'm like, whee!
Sure, yeah. My only real complaint, like, and for the most part, I just don't really care because I just don't play Crucible. Like,
yeah,
and I'm fine with that.
You just have to slug through the one match to get your powerful engram drop and then move along.
But that's the thing that kind of pisses me off is that, like, I get you got to jump in the Crucible to get your drop because they're trying to get people to play the Crucible, and I hate that they're kind of making me play something that I hate.
You don't have
That's
to.
Annoying. No, I don't have to. You're right. That's fair. But they're definitely, like, pushing that. And, like, I know, you know, like, there's various, like, tasks that I get. Like, you know, for example, I grabbed, you know, like I went and there's, like, clan rewards or whatever. You can, like, get, you know, you do certain things for your clan and you get, like, you get points or whatever. And then you can get powerful gear. And, like, half of my clan bounties for the week or for the day or whatever are fucking Crucible ones. And it's like...
They cycle out.
And it's just annoying when, like, half of the bounties that I can do are things that I don't want to do and I don't ever want to do. And it's like they just really push that a lot. And it's like, it's one thing if, like, I get that you know, if you want to play Call of Duty and, like, all you want to do is jump in and play the multiplayer, then, like, that's fine. Like, that game is there for you. But if you... Up until recently, if all you wanted to do is jump in and play the single player, they weren't like, oh, you got to get in and play the multiplayer in order to, like, get a bunch of shit in the single. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that wasn't a thing, right?
Yeah, those bounties cycle, so you'll get, like, a wave of Gambit ones, and then ones that are strike specific, and ones that are just destination specific.
For sure. I will say, I think Gambit is pretty rad.
This week is the week to play Gambit. If you're going to play a lot of Gambit, this is the High Curse week in the Dreaming City.
Right.
And, I don't know, they call it the Meatball Boss. It's a prime, I think it's called the Prime Servitor. Spawns more frequently this week.
Oh, interesting.
And if you take down that Primeval in Gambit, it unlocks the Malfeasance quest line, which is like
that's pretty cool.
Exotic hand cannon.
So I think Gambit is really neat.
Gambit is fun. I really like Gambit.
It can be incredibly frustrating too, though. If you get,
with
like,
with pugs.
Like it can. Woo. I mean, it's like any multiplayer sort of thing. It's neat though. It's like the idea of it kind of being versus another team, but versus like PvE kind of. Like it's a really neat thing, and I think they've definitely got a really cool idea there. No, overall, I mean, Forsaken's fucking rad, and if you're interested in like coming back to Destiny, like I definitely
related
it's awesome.
to our public service announcements. May as well talk about it now. Destiny 2 is free on PC right now until November 18th. Now,
So yeah,
I believe that's just the base game, right?
Yeah, that's the base game, no expansions.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're hoping that people are gonna play the base game and go, "Fuck, this is rad," and then want to, play Forsaken.
Because now it is.
Because if you pay Forsaken, you get all the other previous
the other
expansions.
That's right.
So really, you're paying $50 to get everything. A lot of content.
Yeah.
So right now, you literally pay $50 for Destiny 2, and you get everything that's currently in the game.
I'm still working on quest lines from
Same
Warmind.
I still have some quests from back then.
I'm trying to get my sleeper stimulant. And I got a bunch of quests. I have so many things to do. I was actually at some dude's house today who plays, and he was like 6. He had 3 characters, all 600 power level, and
that's crazy.
He plays a lot. He had like
clearly
all the crazy ass weapons. I'm like, dude, I'm like, wow. Not only the weapons, like the triumphs and stuff, like he had most of them unlocked. I'm like, you play a lot.
Yeah.
But it's easy to do. It's a fun game.
Oh, no, for sure.
I balance. I play a little bit, and then I've been obviously playing Red Dead, and then I'll play some Destiny. I'll work on one powerful engram.
Right.
Whether it be a quick one or a longer one, and then it's like, okay, that's enough. Put that away now for a bit, and then go play Red Dead.
It's a good idea.
I guess we can get into. I've been playing a lot more Red Dead.
Yeah, I was kind of curious. Like, you and I obviously played some Destiny 2, and I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, that was funny. We actually played.
Expected you to be playing with your head deep into Red Dead.
That's what you said. What are you doing playing this? Aren't you playing Red Dead? And I'm like, yeah, I go back and forth.
Yeah.
Actually, sometimes I play at the same time.
Oh, look at you go.
While I have my horse, following the waypoint, I might be doing something in Destiny or vice versa, switching over to Red Dead. It's quite easy when you have the
kind
TV,
of explains why I'm probably not going to buy or play Red Dead.
But yeah, I'm like 30% according to my save.
What chapter are you on?
I'm still in chapter 2 because I was screwing around. Actually, there was a good 2 play sessions, probably maybe about 2 or 3 hours. I was trying to hunt the legendary animal.
Did you win?
No. I don't know if it's a bug or what, but I kept getting when you enter a legendary area, it's like you've entered a legendary animal area, and then you have to track them and hunt them, right?
Right.
But this particular one that I was trying to hunt, every time I went into the areas, be like, you've entered a legendary animal or hunt area, but the area is too busy for the animal to be tracked. So it's like either there's a bunch of predators in the area, or like some random like world spawn, like bandit camp or something was there, and there was always something screwing it up.
You gotta go in there and like bust some caps, yo.
I did, but it wouldn't clear the thing. So I'd go do a mission, sleep, go somewhere else.
Did you Google it?
Pardon?
Did you Google it?
I did Google it, and it's like that's all anyone said is like, go away, go do some stuff, come back.
Interesting.
But nothing seems definitive. I've done that several times now. And then it's like every time it's like, this busy area is too busy. I'm like, God damn it, I just need to kill this one effing animal for this item that I need.
Right.
It's super annoying. Because I'm trying to... This particular... I think it's the elk. Legendary elk. Or it's the buck. I can't remember. It's one or the other. It has...
It's got antlers.
Yeah, and you can create a talisman that makes it so it's easier to get perfect skins.
Oh, okay.
And you need perfect skins to expand your inventory for your satchels.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. So, right, like when you start, you have a satchel and you can only carry 3 of everything.
That's annoying.
Yeah, it is kind of annoying when you're trying to farm stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can get different satchels like tonics or
Right.
medicines or food or whatever. And then, of course, it increases the inventory. If you craft all the satchels,
Yep.
which will take a little while, I assume, then you can do the Legend of the East, I think it's called. I can't remember. And that satchel lets you carry 99 of everything. So it makes things a lot less annoying when it comes to farming and just inventory management.
Right.
So anyway,
I never
got that guy.
Not indicative of Red Dead Redemption 2, like particularly, but like the limited inventory thing, I feel like is such an annoyed, played out, like, oh, you can only carry 4 of those now, but later on you're going to upgrade that to be able to carry 6 of them. It's just, or you could just let me carry 6 of those now, you motherfucker.
Yeah, it's tough because in reality you can't carry a million deer skins.
Yeah, no, I get that.
But then it's like we're so used to we're playing video games, so like just let this part be the video gamey part. You know, like so it's like
oh yeah,
it's like
oh don't worry, I have some real complaints to talk about inventory here when we're done talking about Red Dead.
You're not the only one,
because the other game that I played, oh boy,
you clearly played a lot more than I did. And he's alluding to Fallout 76 beta.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, that aside, I've done a few more missions. I finally learned how to fish.
Nice.
Something like 20 or 30 hours in. I really do still need to move along with the story because Chapter 2 is literally it's still training missions. Even though I've done tons of missions. I heard there was like 6 chapters and then like a epilogue.
6 chapter and an epilogue.
Yeah, I'm like, geez Louise. But I'm enjoying it. All I think about is that game, and all I want to do is play that game when I'm not playing Destiny. It's real good. I really like it. And it's a beautiful game. I've had some hilarious freaking shit happen.
Yeah.
Like this guy was in the middle of nowhere. And this guy like rode past me, oh, help me. And he's like all slumped over on his horse. I'm like, oh, I'll go see what's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm on my horse and I like kind of ride over to him. He falls off his horse under my horse. So I trample him.
And you kill him.
And he's just dead. I'm like, well, guess I'm not helping you.
I helped you into an early grave.
I'll just look around. Nobody's around me. Loot your body and just mosey along.
Wow.
And then it's like someone comes along. Hey, well, I'm going to call the law. And it's like witness is like in the corner as you're like riding away. I kind of do like the system they have for the wanted level. Like it's different. It's that basically if someone sees you do something, they're a witness. And then they will report it. Unless they happen to be a lawman who sees you. If a lawman sees you do something, they'll instantly like turn on you.
Right.
But if it's just anyone else, they'll be a witness. And then they'll be like, hey! And you can run after them and defuse the situation. Sometimes that won't happen. So you just end up shooting them or beating them up, whatever your choice. Or if like they happen to be near or get the attention of the lawman, then it turns into a wanted state, and then they are looking for you. And it's like very Metal Gear-y. It's like stay out of sight. After a certain amount of time, it goes away.
Mm-hmm.
And
or you can pay your bounty.
If they see you, they're going to chase you down.
Right.
I heard you can like give up or surrender and like go to jail, but I actually haven't done that. I have
heard you can spend the night in jail to get rid of some stuff.
Yeah, you could pay off your bounty. Like after some missions, there's a few missions where you will get a bounty. There's no if and or buts about it.
Yeah.
Because you do a crime and then you have to run away and then you get a bounty. And then in that area, basically when you have a bounty, if any lawmen see you, they'll like instantly go after you.
Right.
Unless you pay off the bounty. They aren't actively looking for you anymore, like in the wanted state. But if you have a bounty in an area, you got to be careful. So it's probably just worth it to pay it off, which is kind of funny. You just go to a post office and pay your bounty.
That is kind of funny.
He's wanted for murder, but he gave us $50. That's cool.
We're good. It's all good. It's all good.
No, nobody's after you anymore.
I mean,
but don't you do it again.
It's a video game.
Yeah, that's where it's like it's kind of funny.
Yeah,
there's an amazing drinking level with one of your buddies at the bar.
I've heard about this.
It's probably one of the best missions in an open world game in a really long time that I played. It's freaking hilarious. It's not that it's just hilarious. It's just a really cool mission.
Right.
Just the stuff that happens. It's really cool.
Yep. I've really just come to the realization that game is not for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very decisive out there. There's a lot of people that
I was
love it or hate it.
surprised actually. I like some of the big people, like I know like over on the Bombcast, I know Jeff Gertzman was like, he's just like, nope, this is not a good video game and it is not for me.
Same with Greg Miller.
Yeah, and I know Greg Miller put in, like, to be fair though, they both have played it. I just like watching and hearing about things in the game, like I know myself well enough to kind of like watching quick looks and watching stuff, and I'm just like, no, this I personally I can't do this.
It's a Western GTA with amazing attention to detail, but if you don't like those Rockstar games, like it's still a Rockstar game.
Yeah, like it's still the Rockstar shooting, which has never been great.
I love it.
It's not great here, from what I understand.
It's like, fine. It's just snap to shooting. You hit the trigger, it snaps to an enemy. You slightly tilt up on the stick, and it's a headshot every time. It's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, and I'm okay with it. Like I don't know. Yeah.
If you don't have patience for
it's not that I don't have, it's funny, it's like it's not that I don't have patience, because like I'll play 70 whatever plus hours of whatever, but in this case it's like it's the slow, deliberate, like everything feels like it's in molasses, and then on top of that it's the like little quirks that are fun to watch, but when they happen to me, they would drive me fucking insane. Like when I'm trying to go to a thing and like somebody walks in front of my horse and I trample them, and now I'm in the middle of town trying to get some shit done, and now because this person's a fucking idiot, now I've got a wanted level, and now there's people chasing me, and like that stuff, like
that's I think
it's fun one or two times. Like it's fun one or two times. But by the 45th, 60th hour when I'm playing a game like that, that's the kind of shit that drives me up the goddamn wall. And again, I know enough about myself to know that would drive me crazy. It's, yeah. And the one thing that I do think that is interesting, and the one thing that kind of makes me a little bit more intrigued to possibly play it, is I've heard the story is quite good. And the one nice thing about it is that in theory you can just mainline the story. Like you can kind of just not even interact with all of the other systems, and you can really just play the story.
Or you can lose a bunch of time and all that stuff, which is like what I've been freaking doing, which I got to stop myself for a little bit here because I spent too much time on side stuff. That I need to do a little more mainlining, especially maybe get out of the chapter 2.
So like that aspect of it is kind of cool. Like I know Arthur Gies over at Rebel FM, he more or less just played the story. Like he didn't really get too caught up in anything side related. I think he said it took him about 35 hours to just kind of play through the story. And he was really just saying like, yeah, like you really, if you don't want to, you do not need to like fuck with all of that shit. You can just ride by people if you want, like that are like, oh, help me.
Yeah, which he was comparing.
You know what I mean? Like
he was comparing it to Assassin's Creed, wasn't he? And saying that it was better.
Well, like it's funny because like on one hand he was saying like it felt like it respected his time more. And then, like, it's funny because then somebody else that I, was talking about it was saying that they felt that it didn't respect their time at all, just because you got to walk into a house and you got to, like, very slowly open every drawer and fucking very slowly open everything.
You have to play it before you can.
And like I said, like I get all of that. But I also like I said, watching it and knowing myself well enough, I was just like watching quick looks and people playing it, and I'm just like, yeah, this is just not a video game for me, and that's fair.
It's definitely not for everyone, but
yeah.
If you have taste and you like video games, it's an awesome video game.
Yeah.
The story is pretty cool. I just had like an event happen and I'm like, oh shit. That was just like, oh man. I was playing good at first.
Yeah.
But I've been playing bad because I'm like, every time like I do all this good stuff and that's like we do a mission. It's like, oh yeah, we're bad people. We're robbing people and killing people. It's like,
I mean, ultimately, does it really matter?
No, I don't think it does, except for I was in the general store and they had a really cool outfit I wanted to buy, and it's like, you need to improve your honor. And I'm like, God damn it. So being bad stopped me from buying a really cool gangster outfit or gambler outfit.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's a cool game. I love it. I'm having a lot of fun with it.
That's really good. And then I played a bunch of the Fallout 76 beta on Sunday. I tried to get in on Saturday.
More than I did.
And then I was not I hate timed betas, man. That's so stupid.
They are stupid, and I'm an idiot because I freaking meant to give away another code before the beta started today, and I forgot.
Yeah, like the whole, we're going to open this from 2 p.m. till 6 p.m., and it's just like, well, that's right in the middle of my weekend day. Like, I literally got home like 10 after 6 that evening, and it's like, oh, the beta's over. But I did manage to play on Sunday,
right?
Yeah, Friday night or Saturday or something, because I tried to play it Saturday morning, and initially I was like, what the fuck? This isn't going to let me play, and then I realized it was timed. Yeah. So I played it on Sunday for, I think, a little over 2 hours. I got to level 7.
Oh yeah, you definitely played more than I did. I hit level 5.
Okay. Yeah. That's a Fallout game. So how do I, where do I even start with Fallout 76?
The fact that you hate Fallout and you didn't like 3 or 4?
No, hey man, I went into this with an open mind, hopeful that like it would be something that I would be interested in and want to play.
And what did I tell you last week? I told you it was Fallout, but it's online.
Hey man, I didn't play 4, so everybody was like, "Oh, 4 is way better than 3." Like all those things that you complain about in 3. Like
4 is more of the same.
So let's see. It's a survival game, which I'm not overly keen on to begin with. You've got to eat, you got to drink to keep your energy up. There's little meters that slowly drain over time.
You got to sleep.
I didn't realize you had to sleep, actually.
I don't know if you have to. I feel like you have to.
You probably do. It's like there's certain aspects of it that are kind of cool. Like it's just this giant open world, and you just walk out into it.
Did you play with anyone, or did you just observe other suckers running around in your world?
I observed some other suckers running around in my world. There's an inventory system that drives me absolutely fucking bonkers.
Yeah, a lot of people complained about it.
It's a survival game where you're supposed to, you're supposed to be collecting and grabbing tons and tons of shit because you need to essentially dilute it down into base elements so that you can make shit because, you're constantly building and crafting and you need to do all of that.
Did you actually spend some time at the camp and crafting? I didn't get into any of that.
Oh, yeah, no. I built some guns and modified some weapons, and the shooting is fucking god awful. Like, holy balls, I can't imagine. Wow, God, the shooting in that game is so bad. Oh,
it's not an awesome first-person shooter.
It's funny. I think the melee weapon, like using melee weapons, seems to be a lot more useful than the shooting in that game.
Did you actually have a good gun though? I had a shitty rifle.
I had multiple rifles by the time I was done. I had I had multiple handguns. I had multiple rifles. All of them sucked. Just from it's the problem is that it's an RPG that's pretending to be a first-person shooter, and so you can run up to a guy and be 2 feet away from him and shoot him in the head, and by shoot him in the head, I'm doing air quotes, and totally miss, and it doesn't even do a lot of damage or whatever, and you're just like, what the fuck, And part of the problem here is that yes, I was playing probably the best shooting video game in a first-person shooter most of my weekend, which of course is Destiny 2, and the shooting in that game is fucking amazing. It feels good to shoot stuff.
And going to this,
and then going to Fallout, it was just like, this is fucking terrible. Holy balls. And then of course mixed with the inventory system, so you've got 155 slots. And when you pick up multiple items, that counts as a slot. Then they've got a system where if you go back to camp, you've got your big chest where you can store stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, that's fair. You've got your camp and you move around and you got your stash, so you can stash stuff in there. I was like, all right, well, that's fine. But what they didn't do, which actually kind of really surprised me, is they didn't allow for it when you put stuff in your stash, but then you go to a crafting bench. That shit, you got it.
It's not the bench doesn't realize you have it.
Nope. Then you have to so literally what happens is you go out in the world, you find a bunch of shit, you throw it in your stash, you find a bunch more shit, you throw it in your stash, whatever. Then you go to a workbench and maybe you've just dropped everything off in your stash because you're like, I'm here, so I'm going to go to the workbench.
Yeah.
Now you have to go back to your stash and grab all the shit that you need. Ugh. And then you got to go back to the workbench. Why the fuck wouldn't you just if it's in your stash,
I swear in Fallout
you get to fucking use
that your workbench realized what you had in your stash.
So that was super annoying.
A lot of people complained about inventory online, and they said that they're gonna fix it.
Because that to me is just that's just busy work. That's not fun. It's not. There's no reason for it at all. And I get the whole thing where people are yelling at their radio or whatever right now, saying well, it's Fallout, man. You're gonna put points into strength or whatever, and then you're gonna be able to carry more shit because that's the way these games work. And I get that, because I upgraded my strength a couple times. By the time the demo or the beta ended, I think I was able to carry 184 items instead of 155. Mm-hmm. So yes, that definitely helps. But the problem is that every time I level up, you're only putting points into one of the various systems, charisma or luck or strength or whatever the fuck all those are. And you can only essentially put 1 point into each of them. And if I don't want to, if I want to run around with a shotgun and be lucky motherfucker, then I don't want to be putting points into strength because I'm not running around being a melee character and stuff, so it's this weird thing where it's you're forcing me to put points into something because I need to do it so that I'm not driving myself crazy trying to deal with your inventory system, but I don't really want to play like that, but I have to because that's the way you're making me play this game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
Fallout's really about min-maxing, like you're playing a certain style and going all out one way or another. It's really hard. You can play with balanced like stats, but the best way is if you like min-max a certain type of build.
The other thing that was kind of interesting is that obviously like the whole concept of this is that you're the first vault to, you leave the vault and you're the first vault to essentially empty after, 300 years or whatever it is after the bombs have gone off. So there's essentially nobody alive out in the wasteland because they haven't come out of the vaults yet. So there's no NPCs. So it's like they're trying to tell a story or move a story forward without people to do it. And it's like
it's all like diaries.
Yeah, it's like weird. It's like you're getting like diaries from the overseer, and it's like you're getting given these quests.
I'm sure there's got to be a town with NPCs and stuff. It's very early, the first little area there.
To my knowledge, they have like Bethesda has flat out come out and said there is no human NPCs in this game. The only NPCs are robots and like the audio tape stuff. So I don't know if that's like I remember reading that somewhere. So. But it's just it's a little bit weird because like you go into the one town and like you pick up these diaries from the overseer.
Yeah, you're like following behind her.
Yeah, and it's like to me it's a little bit of like why? Like I know I went and did like I did like a water test at one point because that's what somebody was working on. So who knows how far back to see if the water is safe. And I mean, hey, it's radiated water. I can tell you right now it's not safe. But like, so you're doing this mission that kind of doesn't seem like it has any point to it, but it's on your map. So it feels kind of like busy work. Like it feels like we need to have missions set up for people to do stuff, but there really isn't much point in it because everybody's fucking dead. So it's like a weird thing where they're trying to, and again, like this is based purely upon like 2 or 3 hours of playing in the beta. Things can completely change. Maybe
you're doing that stuff because you're working on setting up a new camp and a new civilization.
Yeah,
you need water. That's important.
That's very true.
The not having NPCs and stuff, the delivery for the story, it's like you either love it or hate it when it comes to that type of stuff. Like BioShock was very much like that, all audio logs and stuff.
But like, I felt for BioShock, it felt like there was a reason why it was still there, though. Like, you were kind of trying to figure out what was going on. You were trying to figure out how to get out of there. Like, there was a purpose to it all. Like yes, it was audio logs and stuff, but I felt more like you were a detective piecing together what the hell happened. This
doing that here too.
It doesn't feel like that though. It feels like somebody's been dead for 100 years and you're
following a ghost.
I don't know. It just doesn't. I don't know. For me, it just did not hit at all. I was just like, I do not give a fuck about what I'm doing, but I'm having to do it because the little dot on my screen says I need to go do it.
So what you're saying is you're going to be picking this up next week.
Fuck no. I do not understand why people go goo for these games, like for this type of game.
But I love Fallout.
Straight up, I don't get it. Like I play it and I'm like, this is not a good video game. Like it's
an excellent video game.
The world doesn't like the world is not overly
and busy.
The world is not particularly pretty. It's very meh looking. Like it looks very like it doesn't look great.
I thought it looked good.
It looks like
it's a post-apocalyptic world. It's not.
Yeah, but like the animals are coming at me, and I'm like looking at it, and it's just like this doesn't particularly look good. Like it, I don't know. Like it just.
So. The Fallout beta broke you, is what you're saying.
No, it didn't break me. I was hoping that, like, I don't know. I went in hoping that, like, maybe this would be the one, like, where I got it. Where, like, I played it and I was like, oh, man, I finally get it. Like, this is what everybody's been, like, on about the, like, the new Fallout stuff is, because like I said, I played the original Fallout 1 and 2, and I'm a big fan of those games.
That's all right. It's not for everybody.
But I don't know. I cannot, like, for me, I don't understand.
Can't crack it.
Like, the crafting's not fun. The gun, like, the shooting is fucking terrible. Oh, and don't get me started on if you
to be like, yep, I love it. It's Fallout. I'm sold.
And when you have too much stuff, then you're encumbered.
Oh yeah,
but of course you're going to be encumbered
that's
all the
Fallout.
fucking time because, like, oh fuck, it's so annoying.
That's Fallout. Encumbrance. Yeah, that is annoying. But that's another one of those video gamey things. You can't just carry 100,000 things. But all right, well, Dane.
Anyways, so that's what I was playing.
I wanted to play more, but I just didn't have a chance. The stupid limited beta times is just really dumb.
Yeah, I was hopeful. Like, I really went into it hoping that this was going to be, I don't know, that I would go in and, like, I'd come back to this podcast today, and I was hoping that I would be like, dude, I get it. Like Fallout, wow, that's a, fuck, I played 3 hours of it, and I want to play more of it. I really want to, like, try and pick it up when it comes out. And
Dane hates Fallout, he hates Red Dead, he hates Dark Souls.
I can't officially hate Red Dead because I haven't played it, and I'm not gonna. I just said, like, I know enough about myself that I'm definitely not gonna buy it right away.
He hates Dark Souls.
I don't hate Dark Souls.
I'm just kidding. All games that make you, I don't know, they're fantastic, but then if they are also horrible all at the same time. So you're not wrong. Like, the shooting's not awesome, but it's just, if you don't get sucked into that world, then it doesn't, you don't give it a pass, right? It doesn't click.
Yeah, like I said, like, I played Fallout 3 like when I reinstalled it like a year or two ago or whatever, like a year and a half or whatever it was, and I tried to get into it, and like I played like 7 hours of that game. It's not like I just like played an hour and I was like, nope, this isn't for me. Like, I tried, and like the story and like the way that world was interesting. Like, that part of it was cool. But the problem is that in order to get to more story and to more of that world, I have to trudge through all of the terrible shooting and the terrible mechanics and the terrible inventory. And like, that's the stuff that broke me. It's like, that's all the stuff that everybody else seems to be able to give it a pass. They're like, oh yeah, the shooting's not great, blah, blah, blah. But oh, the story is so good. And it's like, if it was 80% story and 20% shooting, then maybe, but like, it's 80% shooting and 20% story, and it's like, fuck, I can't do that. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah.
Let's get into some news.
Yeah.
Something maybe more happy.
Let's get into some news. News. BlizzCon happened last week.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, BlizzCon.
Oh, BlizzCon.
I've always gone. I'm so happy I didn't go to this one. So, Warcraft 3
I feel like there's really stinker years of BlizzCon, eh? Like, some years you're like, shit, I kind of wish I was there for that. And some years you're like, well, glad I didn't pay for that.
So, I guess the big positive news story is that Warcraft 3 is getting remastered. That's cool.
I'm a lot more excited about this than I thought I was.
Yeah, I've always wanted to. I have it on my CD rack just sitting there staring at me, and I'm always like, man, you know what? I really want to reinstall that and play through it again, because that was a fantastic game, and the expansion.
I know this is going to be a... Was there only one? I thought there's 2 expansions.
There might be 2. I can't. But there's
anyways, they're remastering it big time. It's getting a 4K treatment, the whole 9 yards. They're redoing all the art. Like, it looks surprisingly good. They got videos out there showing like what the original game looks like and what the new game is gonna look like.
Yeah, there's a link in the show notes to the Kotaku article that has a trailer there,
and they're going all in.
Yeah, that
like,
looks cool. So that was
really
exciting.
Good. Yeah, that came out at a very like interesting time in my life, and I played a lot of Warcraft 3, and I'm excited to play it again.
There's a new Heroes of the Storm character, a new Overwatch character.
I mean, I feel like those were kind of in a weird way, like, given. Like,
yeah.
What else? Of course, you're going to announce that at BlizzCon.
Pardon?
I said those were kind of of course you're going to release those at BlizzCon, you know.
What else is there? I was thinking
World of Warcraft Classic.
That's it.
They showed off a bunch of stuff.
They gave that demo to everyone who went and people who were watching from home. That's going on through the weekend. Like, I don't know why. I understand the nostalgia trip for playing vanilla WoW, but Jesus Christ.
I feel like it's a rose-colored glasses thing where people are like, oh, I remember that being so good, and they're going to go back and play it, and they're going to be like, oh shit, they made a lot of quality of life changes from then till now, and I kind of want a lot of those back.
Yeah, I just...
I don't know.
That is such a weird thing, like going backwards.
That game came out in 2004. 2004 is when the original World of Warcraft came out. Yeah. But I already have friends of mine freaking messaging me being like, oh, dude, WoW Classic. I think that might get me back into World of Warcraft. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And then they... yeah, what is wrong with them? And then they dropped the bomb announcement. Diablo... Immortal for phones. And all hell broke loose.
I don't really understand.
I understand. Because everyone's fucking entitled assholes.
So, okay, well, hold on. So, this to me wasn't a surprise. I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense to me. Like,
yeah, we're going
you would
try and make
Diablo on mobile. Like, of course you are. Like, why? The mobile is huge. I get that.
Yeah, it's just money on the table. Why wouldn't you scoop that up?
Totally. Like, I don't necessarily know if it's for me.
Yeah, but you don't need to be angry about it.
But, like, whatever.
If it's cool, sweet, I'll have Diablo on my phone.
Exactly.
If it sucks, then I just ignore it. Like 99% of all the other apps out there.
Exactly. And then I'm going to be like, whatever. And not only that, it's not like it's taking like a ton of resources away from actual Blizzard, because this is being made by a third party anyways, and being overseen by Blizzard. So it's not like the devs that are making Warcraft 3 Remastered are like, no.
Of this.
Exactly. Like honestly, like anyways, the internet freaked the fuck out. Apparently for the like there was some guy at one of their
Q&As at
keynotes like after asked if this was like a April Fool's joke that didn't happen to be happening on April Fool's. And in all honesty, I actually thought the response from Blizzard was kind of awesome, where like the dev was just like, don't you guys have phones? Like, how are you not, like, if, I don't know. And then a lot of people kind of got upset by that. Like, oh, of course we fucking have phones, and it became a whole thing.
It's kind of ridiculous. But remember Diablo 3's reveal?
Yeah, everybody was like, it's not dark enough.
It was too colorful, and it was rainbows and unicorns. Remember Hearthstone's announcement? How pissed off everyone was that wasn't Project Titan and World of Warcraft 2?
Yep.
Meanwhile,
Overwatch
Hearthstone's like super successful, and all the WoW fans freaking love it.
Yeah.
But they hated it at first. Same thing with Diablo 3. They hated it at first. It's just this vocal minority that is really, really, really loud makes it seems like it's what everyone's feeling. And they're just the audacity.
Meanwhile, a ton of people just aren't saying anything, and they're going like, whatever.
Yeah, like, I think it's cool. Hey man, I don't know. I hate mobile games. But that doesn't mean I don't want good mobile games. Yeah. Like, I want the AAA game makers to make good mobile games so that one day I will be like, my phone is a good gaming console. Right now, it's an okay gaming console, because
I still think that the single biggest reason that mobile games kind of suck is just because we all have touchscreens.
Yeah, because of the control.
It's just the controller.
Like, absolutely.
And there's lots of people that probably, like, if I was to play some of these mobile games with a proper controller, some of these games would probably be great. But the fact is that I'm trying to use a fucking touchscreen, and it sucks.
Yeah.
So
it's just it sucks for Blizzard. Like, but you know what? They did kind of screw up. They probably should have they shouldn't have saved this announcement for
BlizzCon.
Like, they should have known better that there would have been a lot of blowback.
And I mean, and the funny thing is that because of all of this, we like, in not so many words, they've essentially said, like, you know, a proper PC like Diablo is on the way. So they've essentially said, like, look, Diablo 4 is being made. Which, shut the fuck up. This isn't that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And like, but they flat out said, like, they didn't show off Diablo 4 because they're not ready yet. They're just not ready yet because they don't want to show off a game that might change a bunch more. Because we all know how that goes when they fucking show off a game too early.
It's not dark enough.
Freaks the fuck out.
It's too dark.
They showed this game and look at how much worse it looks now that they released it.
It's too Diablo-y. It's too evil.
It's got way too many puddles. Like, it's just stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, so I understand why they wouldn't show it off yet. If they're not, you know, if they're thinking like, well, we're not set, you know, if this game kind of isn't set into stone as to what it's going to be like, then by all means, like, figure your shit out and don't show it off until you're ready.
Fandoms are great, and they're terrible all at the same time.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'm not going to say that I haven't poo-pooed stuff and been negative here and there. I try not to be. And sometimes your emotion gets the better of it, and a little bit of it is in jest. But some of these people on the internet are so, like, deathly serious at how angry they are. Yeah. That's what I don't get. It's just a fucking video game, man. Chill out.
Well, and I think the biggest thing for me is that, like, if you don't want to play it and you think it's going to be suck or whatever, then, like,
you don't have to
move on with your life. Don't play it.
Yeah, no one's forcing. Like, that's the funny thing.
But don't get angry about other people that want to play it. Like, it's not like we're sitting there, like, strapping your eyeballs open and saying, like, you have to play
and
Diablo.
And you're not going to get the thing that you love and like because this is in existence.
Right.
It's just kind of...
Anyways.
That's too bad. And then everyone who played on the show floor is like, actually, it's really good.
Yeah, I've heard that it's all right. I've heard that there's... we'll see. I joined up for the, like, I'll definitely check it out when it comes out.
I pre-registered, so...
Yeah, same.
So also, you know, I don't know what other... obviously, it's Blizzard and BlizzCon. There's free tchotchkes. Hearthstone's giving away free packs right now. That's to celebrate, like, 100 million players. And I think they also had an expansion recently as well.
Yeah.
I know I logged in and I had 12 packs.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know what that was all about, but I'm like, okay, I'll sit here and open them. Whee! Epic. Legendary.
I haven't opened a pack of cards on Hearthstone in years.
Yeah, I haven't played in a while. At this point, I just feel like I'm just so out of it with not having all the cards. It's just like, it's like walking into the Crucible of Destiny with a fucking pop gun.
So what I do?
Pretty much. Well, like, that's the thing with... I played competitive WoW TCG back in the day. Like, the physical WoW card game.
Right.
And if you weren't spending $500, $600 on building a competitive deck, forget about it.
Forget about it.
You didn't have a chance in hell.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I feel.
All kind of card games are kind of like that.
Yeah,
right?
They all get to a point where it's like, if you haven't been keeping up...
They first come out, they're fun, they're cool.
Yeah, because everyone's on
a
on a level playing field, and then you're a few years in now, and the meta, and you got to have these cards, and these cards are just... Or don't bother.
Yeah.
But I will give Hearthstone a pass in that it does have single-player stuff that you can still have a lot of fun with. That's the one thing I do like about Hearthstone.
Fair enough.
Is single-player stuff.
Cool.
Moving along.
Overwatch Lego sets announced, available January 1st. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I saw those. Those look cool. They were leaked before and rumored, but now they're official, so...
These are rad.
They are rad.
They got, like, actual Overwatch character minifigs and, like, various vehicles from the, like, games and, like, sets from the games.
Yeah, I want the Reinhardt and Diva and the Bastion.
Yeah. Those ones are awesome looking.
The Reinhardt, the Diva, and the Bastion. I will most likely purchase those. The other little play sets I don't really care for, but those ones are cool because they're like bigger sets.
Yeah. They look cool.
They do look cool.
I still kind of want the Voltron one.
Where are we?
Rockstar has already shipped a gajillion copies of Red Dead Redemption 2.
17 million copies of Red Dead Redemption 2. Jesus Christ. It's already outsold the original.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
What has it been out a week?
Yeah. Somebody was saying that it was their biggest launch ever, but to my knowledge, they sold more the first weekend of Grand Theft Auto 5. Somebody else was saying that Grand Theft Auto 5 was bigger.
That's crazy.
I don't know.
Man, those guys are going to be rolling around in dough.
They weren't already?
This is true story. Grand Theft Auto is like the biggest selling game ever, I think. I believe
It's pretty ridiculous. It's made well over $1 billion.
95 million copies of Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah.
That was back in May. So it's got to be closer to 100 million copies.
Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, and Grand Theft Auto 5 finally went on sale. So who knows how many more millions of copies they've sold since it's started to go on sale.
If you haven't noticed, we're obviously a day late recording here. So
and a buck short.
This story happened to come out today. Activision had a earnings call, and it says they're not too happy with Destiny's sales, though the player base is very happy, and I think they've got decent numbers. Forsaken just hasn't hit where I guess Activision was hoping it would, I guess.
Yeah, they're essentially saying like Destiny 2 Forsaken hasn't lived up to what they thought. They were hoping that it was going to bring more of the original player base back.
Yeah. So they're looking at what can they do to re-engage the core player base. Well, it makes sense. You got Black Ops 4 Blackout. People are really liking Black Ops multiplayer. You got Red Dead now. You got Assassin's Creed. You got some really big competition there right now.
I mean, to be fair,
mind you, Fortnite
Forsaken came out earlier than all of this, though. Like it did come out in September.
Yeah, but all this other distractions.
There's a little bit of a lull. Sorry,
you come and go, right? Like I haven't been playing hardcore Destiny 2 since Forsaken came out.
I mean, hey, I just jumped on board.
Well,
so
yeah.
So I'm adding to their numbers.
That's the thing. These stories, like these conference call, they only made $10 million this quarter, and we wanted $11 million. It's a failure.
Yeah, this is totally the like. Well, I mean, ultimately they have shareholders. This is the problem that I have with like publicly traded video game companies. Is that at the end of the day, there's a board of directors and there's a shareholders, and they want to make money. That's the only reason they're there.
You know how you guys should fix this game? You need more of them loot boxes and skins.
Yeah.
Like the Fortnites, the kids, they like the skins. That'll fix your game.
So when you got shareholders like that, then you have to make the money.
And then you get Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yep. So
that's like Square Enix. Remember Square Enix a couple of years ago with Rise of the Tomb Raider? It was a failure. 4 million copies sold. It's like, what?
Yeah.
How many people would
10 million or whatever?
How many people would be like, I'd fucking sacrifice someone to get 4 million copies of my item sold?
Yeah.
Business.
Yeah. Anyways, needless to say, I mean, Activision's not hurting, but I mean, I'm sure that it didn't make us 50 million copies. So like, I don't know, like fuck, I don't know.
Yeah. Warframe's massive open world Fortuna expansion arrives on PC this week.
Yeah, it actually just dropped, I want to say today or yesterday.
Yeah. I got a new press release in my email about this.
Yeah. So, like, last year, they released the big chunk of open world that kind of made it feel, in some ways, a little bit more almost Destiny-like in some ways.
Yeah, that's what you were saying before.
Yeah, the plains of Eidolon or whatever it's called.
Familiar.
Yeah, that's what the first one was. So this is another big area like that on Venus. And it allows, it's another huge... To be totally honest, I haven't installed it yet, but seeing as this dropped, I kind of want to check this out because the plains of Eidolon were pretty cool.
I got to reinstall it ever since I got my new hard drives and everything working again.
Yeah, no.
Because I started playing it a little while ago.
Yeah, no, it's the fact that this stuff is like, hey, this is all free updates. Like, fucking, you want to play some game? Like, fuck, man. It's a great game. It's got some issues, but man, is it ever fun? And it's free, and the fact that they keep dropping these great big like updates and things like that, like it's pretty fucking awesome. So that's on PC now, and they will be making its way to Xbox One and PlayStation 4 soon. So I will definitely have more to talk about with that once I go check it out. So looks like there's going to be above ground. There's like hover, like there's like giant, like kind of like hoverboards that you can ride. So I'm sure you're going to have to create your own like hoverboard and go cruise across the surface of the planet with it. Yeah. Fucking space ninjas on hoverboards, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
That's a Canadian game, and it's free to play.
Yep.
I think Toronto or Montreal.
They're actually like outside of Toronto and like Markham or something like that.
Yeah,
they're in Ontario.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know. Do you want to talk about this? Do we care?
It's pretty fucking huge. I feel like we can't not talk about it.
Final Fantasy 15 character DLC canceled, and the game director Tabata quits.
Hajime Tabata.
Yeah, they had the next 3 of the 4 character focused add-ons have been canceled, and the game director has left the company.
How does this work for the people that bought the like quote unquote season pass?
I think this is the second pass. So this isn't like the original season pass wasn't fulfilled.
So it looks like
because it's the 2-year anniversary of this game now. So this is like a second year of stuff. If you remember, they added.
Right.
So I just don't know if obviously clearly it must not be selling, and I guess he's doing his fall on the sword by leaving.
I don't know because I mean this game sold fucking really well. Like. It was also in development for like 15 years. So.
I liked Final Fantasy 15. I played it for quite a bit, and then I didn't.
So it looks like the first episode will still be released in March of 2019, but episodes based on 3 other characters have been scrapped.
And side stories and an alternate finale to Final Fantasy 15.
Huh. Yeah, because like they said, where was it? I was reading somewhere that they were saying like they were like losing money on. I remember reading like a press release, and like part of it was they were saying like that they had lost a bunch of money or something this year.
Oh yeah, something like $200 million or something.
Yeah,
I saw that too. I could be wrong on that number, but you're right. I did see that as well.
Yeah.
I gotta go
apparently
he resigned
to start his own company.
I say I gotta go back, but I'll never go back.
No.
I think I played 30 hours.
Sounds about right.
I think Teacup actually beat it, my brother-in-law.
Okay.
He was really
I know a few people that beat it.
He was really stoked for the game. Oh, your buddy Mark, isn't he like Final Fantasy guy?
Oh yeah, he beat it. Apparently the end is terrible.
Yeah. And didn't they patch
I've heard
the
from
end?
a few
they
people.
They patched the end after.
He played it again, said it was still terrible.
It's still terrible.
Yeah.
Moving along. YouTube app is now available on Nintendo Switch. I have not checked this for myself to see if it's available to download.
Okay.
But apparently it is.
I mean, I think it's good because it's finally fleshing out some of like That's the one thing that I kind of drives me crazy about the Switch is like it's essentially a tablet, like, but it doesn't run
to go to all the tablet stuff.
Yeah, like it does, like, which one part of my brain says, yeah, it's a fucking video game system, and like that's what it's made to do, and that's what it's good at, and that's all it does. And I'm like, okay, cool.
And then
but then there's the other part of me that is like, yeah, but it's a touchscreen tablet. How come I can't like surf the web and like watch, when I'm on a plane? Why can't I watch Netflix
and have
or
apps
whatever on it? Like, yeah,
surf the internet.
Like, exactly. So yeah, I don't know. Like,
with all that stuff comes vulnerabilities, but hey,
because the Switch is such a secure system.
The system still got hacked without any of that stuff, so it's like the excuse for not having it just kind of like gone the way of the dodo.
Yeah.
If it was a Netflix app, I would have downloaded it already.
Totally.
But I don't. Me personally, I don't watch a lot of YouTube. I don't watch a lot of streaming. Like, I rarely do Twitch. I only ever do like press conferences and E3 type stuff through Twitch. But Netflix, I watch lots of Netflix.
The times that I would use this are I wouldn't have internet, so YouTube would be useless to me. Whereas Netflix, you're able to download offline, so Netflix is useful to me. Generally speaking, if I'm somewhere where I'm going to have internet, I'm probably not going to necessarily care that there's YouTube on my Switch. That being said, like, I'm glad that it's there. I think that's kind of
some of their justification for this stuff not being on there.
Yeah. I mean, in January, Netflix had said that the company was exploring an opportunity with Nintendo, but obviously, that's whatever. And Nintendo flat out said that video apps are not a priority for Nintendo at the time of the Switch's launch. So I mean, who knows? We still might see Netflix, but I mean, I don't think that we're gonna see, Amazon Prime app and everything else on there either. Like, I just don't think it's gonna go there. Because I mean, to be fair, I like a lot of those apps were on the PlayStation Vita, and I'm trying to remember if I used any of them. Like, I think I had a couple of them downloaded to my Vita, but I don't know if I've ever used any of them besides
downloading them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's very true in theory. So, it's like this. I got the system for playing games.
Mm-hmm. And like nowadays with smartphones, like I'm probably gonna have that with me, and that's probably what I'm gonna use to,
and
like,
it's connected.
And the screen's better. Like the screen
wait until the updated Switch, then we'll get a better screen.
Don't get me wrong, the screen on my Switch is bigger,
and maybe Wi-Fi. It's a nice screen.
But the screen on, come on, man, the screen on my phone does HDR, for crying out loud.
Yeah,
the screen on my Switch does not. Like, come on.
It is only 720p.
Exactly.
PlayStation news. Spider-Man PS4's second DLC release date has been confirmed. That is for November 20th, I believe.
Wow.
Turf Wars. Oh yeah, they said
That's
October,
crazy.
November, December. So
right, yeah.
I have the heist. I haven't had a chance to play it. It's not that I haven't had a chance to play it. I'm just choosing to play Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah,
I hear it's decent.
I hear it's very good.
So I do want to play it, but too little time. PlayStation Classic. A bunch of people have started getting their hands on it, aka big sites like IGN and Eurogamer.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kotaku had a story as well. I got this link here is from Kotaku. They're like, basically the gist of it is plays fine, but it's bare bones experience. Not
right.
Kind of lackluster interface. You can only have one save state per game, which is kind of lame considering the Super Nintendo and NES classics do 4 save states per game.
Right.
Obviously, I don't know. It kind of bummed me out. I do have one pre-ordered. I don't think I saw anywhere any information about how much memory the system has, so I don't know how moddable this thing is going to be. I'm sure hackers are going to figure out how to get more games on it.
Apparently it uses a standard USB connection for the controllers.
Yeah, so that'll probably open it up for hacks.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, in terms of the internal storage for loading more games on it. Because I know with the NES and the Super Nintendo, you can add quite a few games to them. I heard.
Yeah.
I know a guy. Not me, some other guy. He may or may not have put a bunch of games on his SNES Classic. I'm just kind of bummed. I'm like, I want it and I don't want it. Because at the same time, I have my PlayStation 1. But then again, the convenience of this being USB and I'll be able to actually use it. And then I'm also
seeing
depressed.
as my PS3 is still connected and hooked up to my television, and I can play with my PS3 because it's the 60 gig launch version. I can play PS1 and PS2 games and PS3 games.
I don't have that system. I made a mistake and got rid of that system.
So I literally have right now plugged in. I can play PS1 all the way through to PS4.
I should have kept that system. I'm an idiot for selling it.
Yeah.
And then this
still works.
Pardon?
And it still works great.
Yeah. This is an interesting story. PlayStation Now is more popular than you think. This story from IGN.
Interesting.
PlayStation Now reportedly earned over $143 million in 2018, making it the most popular game subscription service available in terms of sheer revenue.
Interesting.
Who would have guessed that? I think most people would have figured Game Pass was the biggest and that PlayStation Now is like a dud and sucks. Well, guess what, everyone? You're all wrong.
Wow.
In a report by Superdata Research, PlayStation Now makes up to 52% of the game subscription market share, beating out the different permutations of EA Access at 33% and Xbox Game Pass at 15%. So it's literally trouncing the competition.
To be fair, Game Pass has only been around for 4 months now.
Game Pass is fantastic, but
it is.
I guess the one strength that it had,
whereas like PlayStation Now was around for it's been around for like a year and a half, 2 years,
a couple of years now. Yeah, we forget that some we're kind of entitled or not entitled, but lucky in that we can buy lots of games and afford lots of games, and that these types of services really appeal to people that. They don't need to have the latest and greatest. They just want access to a steady stream of games for a decent price. And now that you can install games, I wonder if their growth went up a bunch because of that. Because
wouldn't surprise me.
Like that's the one thing that I literally mocked this for was that it was streaming and you couldn't install games, but now that you could install games, that really kind of takes that away. And for someone with good internet, like it wouldn't make it like this service probably works. But I don't know. I just don't really have a need for it. Though I have Game Pass, but I got that from Xbox, so.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. That's surprising. I had no idea. If you asked me who's number one, I would have probably said it was Game Pass, then EA, and then PlayStation Now.
I also think part of that has to do with the fact that like neither one of us have you ever used PlayStation Now?
No, I've never even tried it.
No,
I use my remote play all the time. But
yeah, so like that also, like neither one of us have even tried it. I mean, there's something to be said about that, right?
But it actually is doing well.
Yeah,
that's what like made me buy Red Dead on PS4, even though I know the Xbox One X version is better. And I will one day play it with my brother-in-law when the online comes out, is that remote play, man. Like, being able to play it, like, at lunchtime is pretty awesome. Like, on my MacBook, at my workplace, during lunch only, it works really well.
Fair enough.
Like, quite well. Like, it hiccups once in a while, but, man, like, I could go bang off something quick and easy and sneak in a little extra time here and there. It's kind of sweet.
Yeah.
Even not freaking at home, too. Like, sometimes when my daughter's watching TV, watching the shows before bedtime, I'll just have my laptop on my lap and I'll be playing Red Dead remote play, so I could just be sitting next to her, right?
Right. Yeah, no, I definitely use the in-home streaming from... Usually my Xbox, because if I'm not in there playing, my wife's probably playing.
I'm really interested in their xCloud.
Yeah. See if it's any good. I mean, they have the potential to make it awesome, so
yeah,
we'll see.
Seems like they have a really
Just got that back end.
Like the GeForce Now works really well. Like I've done lots of Destiny on that recently as well.
Oh man, I didn't even think about. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I do it. I've done it.
I hadn't even thought about that. I could play Destiny at work.
I did a bunch during the Halloween event. Like I did a bunch of grinding a couple days over lunch.
Oh shit, yeah.
It worked very well. Speaking of MacBooks, I bought the new MacBook Air. He's just shaking his head.
Whatever, man. You're the one that has to use it.
I love my MacBook
Not
Air.
me.
I'm pretty happy to get a new one with a Retina screen, higher resolution. I'm pretty stoked. So then my wife gets my old one, and I get this one. It's like a free upgrade. Everyone wins. It's not really free. It's free, not free. Actually, I'm using the Tesla money from my canceled Tesla reservation for it. I actually I made money off my Tesla reservation.
How?
Because for some reason, when I put a deposit down on it, because of the way the dollar was really bad, Tesla refunded Canadians an extra $300.
Huh.
And then for whatever reason, they refunded in Canadian, but the original deposit was in American, so they gave us the value today. So it's I made $300, over $300, almost $400 off my reservation.
That's nice. There you go.
Yeah. And I saw the money in my bank account today. I'm like, oh, well, that pays for my laptop.
There you go.
We're looking for a new one because my wife's is dying. It's 10 years old.
Yeah.
It's a piece of crap. So then she gets my Air, which is, I think it's 4 years old now.
Right.
Maybe 5, but it's still an awesome machine. I have no need for a new laptop.
Did the new Air get the terrible new keyboard?
It's the better version of the terrible keyboard.
It's as somebody who works with this shit on a regular basis, it's a terrible keyboard. It's fucking awful.
Doesn't matter. It's got Retina and it's a MacBook Air. I was looking at other options, but I don't like any of the Windows machines, and they're all more expensive, and I don't need any of that stuff. It's a good price, and I actually got a really sweet thing is I got a discount on it because of my work.
There you go.
When do you get discounts on Apple stuff? Never.
Unless you're
education. Our discount's better than the education discount.
I was gonna say there's actually a lot of situations where you can, if you're in the right places, you can get killer discounts on Apple stuff.
Well, I got a discount on a brand new Apple product.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked. I'll report on that when I get it. Public service announcements. We already talked about Destiny 2 is free on PC till November 18th. Download it, even whether you're going to play it or not. You may as well add it to your Battle.net launcher and have it.
Forever.
Beat Saber lands on PSVR November 20th with new content. I just put that in here because that's a really cool VR game.
Mm-hmm. That looks neat.
Really talk about too much in terms of release dates for stuff. It's not like we go over all of them, but that game looks rad, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. And it's also kind of like a reminder to myself.
Fair enough.
It looks fun. Everyone who's played it on Vive or whatever it's on now, love it. So
I could see that being good with the Move controllers, and you're using them like swords and or lightsabers and shit. That'll be cool.
This weekend, PUBG and Pro Evolution Soccer 2019 are a free weekend on Xbox.
If you have Xbox Live Gold. You gotta have gold.
No, it says without a gold membership.
I lied. Without gold. Free for everybody that has an Xbox One.
Also this weekend on Saturday, November 10th, is the XO 18 event in Montreal.
Montreal?
Not Montreal, Mexico. God damn it.
I was like, what the hell? I thought it was in Mexico City.
Yes, it's in Mexico. Why did
Montreal.
I don't know. I was thinking about Montreal. Anyway, it's going to be announcements for all the first-party Xbox games that, Crackdown 3, Minecraft, Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, Forza Horizon 4, and then, of course, they're going to have a surprise or two. So
I hope so, because
and of course
that lineup is not lighting the world on fire.
The typical, if you watch it using Mixer, you're gonna get freebies for games.
Hell yeah,
which is kind of fun.
I love doing that. It's like E3 got some free Mixer games.
It's kind of cool. It is neat. I don't know. Mixer's a cool platform, man. They're really trying.
Yeah.
Whereas, and I feel like Twitch is kind of like arrogant, like we're Twitch, and I feel like they don't try.
What are you talking about? If you got a Twitch Prime membership, you get all the fucking free games every month.
I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm bitter because I don't get to go to the Twitch parties at all the conventions.
Oh, I'm okay with that.
But then again.
Anyways.
Moving along. Free for all section.
Moving along.
Did you finish Castlevania Season 2? You did, didn't you?
Hell
I did
yeah.
as well. I think I was halfway last week when we talked about it. Man, what an awesome freaking show series.
Holy shit.
It's so good. We gushed about it last week, but man, that episode 7, holy crap.
Wow. Like,
I had like
I don't even know what to say about it.
I had a grin
like,
on my face the whole time. I was just like smiling and like I had chills when the Symphony of the Night music kicked in during the freaking castle scene.
Oh man, it's so good.
And then they left.
My wife and I both watched it, and like even she was like, "Wow, that was really cool."
We know season 3 is coming. It wrapped up quite well for season 2, but it also left a lot of stuff open.
Left a lot of threads hanging.
So like we knew there was going to be a season 3 before it was even announced, but they set it up quite well for that. It was awesome.
So good.
Yeah. If you haven't watched it, you need to watch it. Even if you don't like Castlevania, it's just a quality like North American anime. And it's so one of the best treatments for like a video game that isn't a video game. Like these guys,
it's honestly that's how you make a video game
movie,
like
show,
TV show,
product,
movie product. Because
I think I said it last week. That these guys need to like hold class and session for movie producers for anime, whether it's cartoon or movie. These guys just need they just need to teach these guys how to do this because they did it so well. I don't know. I loved it.
Yes,
I'm actually watching it again. It's so good.
I will probably.
And there's a lot of nods and Easter eggs to the game. So if you play the games, like even from attacks, like Alucard's attacks and stuff that he does, his teleporting, the sword attacks, I'm like, he does that shit in the game.
Yeah.
Or Dracula's attacks, even. It's like,
oh man, like honestly, the end of that season. I'm gonna keep it spoiler free, but honestly, fucking hit me right in the feels though.
It's pretty tragic.
Oh man, like fuck, so good. Oh
yeah, it does that thing where it like really makes you feel for the bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like he's not really a bad guy. But he's a bad guy. But he's not a bad guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel bad for him.
Yeah. I don't even know if yeah, go watch it. It's so good. I honestly, it's the best thing I've maybe watched this whole year. It's amazing.
Yeah, in terms of streaming, it's probably the best show I've watched this year. It's true. It's that good. I picked up a pair of Bluetooth headset, wireless headphones, earbuds, whatever you want to call them, in-ear noise. They're not, I don't know, they're advertised as noise canceling over there, but they're not noise canceling. They're noise isolating because they go in your ear.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, they're,
put them in your ear holes,
sync to your phone.
Okay.
You use them for music, for taking calls, whatever.
Right.
They're stereo sound, no cords, which is really nice because I have a couple cordless ones, which are pretty freaking annoying, to be honest.
Corded ones?
What's that?
corded ones?
Yeah, I like cheapo corded ones. Well, they're not that cheap. They were $30 or $40, but like they kept falling out of my ears and whatnot. These ones don't fall out of my ear. They're super comfortable. My ears, I've worn them all day. They don't get sore. What's really cool with them that I find, you can sync them with multiple devices. They work with my laptop, which is amazing. So I was playing remote play on my laptop with them. And then I got a phone call on my phone, and they kicked over to my phone, which was awesome.
That's nice.
So they can handle multiple devices. That was really awesome surprise. I didn't think that was going to work. They sound really good. Like I have them halfway volume or lower because they have such good sound quality. Whereas my other Bluetooth, I literally almost had to have had cranked all the way up. They come with a little cool case that charges them and holds them. So you can get like multiple charges out of them in a day. I believe they're 5 hours. I haven't been able to drain them yet. And the case will charge them, like I said, up to 2 more times. So you can easily get like a full day out of them. Well, I've gotten a full work day out of them because I'm not using them nonstop. So they've lasted all day.
Right.
It's really neat. They also have like a noise pass-through mode.
So when somebody starts talking to you, it kind of...
You can hear them. You can hear all the outside noise. So it's really cool. So if you're listening to music or on a call or whatever, if you tap the headset twice, then it kind of acts like a hearing aid. You just hear everything around you. So it's not like you're totally deaf to the world around you. And then, of course, if you tap it again, it goes away, and then it's super quiet, and you can really hear what you're listening to. But if you like want to, like, say you're doing some work or someone might be talking to you, you can tap the button a couple times and hear outside noise, which is really cool. That's a really neat feature.
That's rad.
Yeah, and are
they pretty pricey or?
They're on sale right now. They're normally like $229 or something Canadian.
Right.
So they're on sale for like $159.99 right now at Best Buy. I think at a couple other places as well. They come in different colors. I haven't had any issues.
Earbuds. I find I don't know, the shape of my ears or something.
Yeah.
Every time I wear earbuds, they just, no matter, I've like tried nice, like expensive ones, I've tried like cheap ones, like I've kind of in between ones, and like they all tend to like they make my ears sore. Like they hurt.
I'm used to wearing them, so
yeah.
These ones are for whatever reason, these ones happen to have the default perfect size for my ears, so my ears haven't gotten sore. That's cool. Which is awesome. And like I said, they sound really good. I haven't had any issues with dropping connection. They're cool, man. I really like them. I'm like, oh, why didn't I buy these sooner? And super stoked that they work with my freaking MacBook, and I'm pretty sure I'll be able to sync them with my TV as well, which is pretty cool. Yeah, they're pretty sweet. I highly recommend them.
Right on.
So yeah, like 159 Canadian right now, so like $5 American.
There you go. That's pretty cheap.
I think, is that it? I think that's it. You made it.
There you go.
That's a podcast in your ear holes, episode 180. Housekeeping before we leave you. You can follow me on Twitter at RickF.
You can always come bug me on Twitter at Dane Cody at DAYNECODY.
Follow us on Twitter at Geekoholics. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Geekoholics. Like us on Facebook, Geekoholics. Instagram, Geekoholics. You get the idea here. We're Geekoholics everywhere. We're also Geekoholics on Twitch as well, though you won't really find a lot of stuff there. Maybe one day we'll start streaming. Maybe.
We will. We will.
One day.
Oh, no. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Hey, man, we said the same thing about actually starting a podcast, and then one day we were just like, fuck it. We just did it. And here we are.
This is true.
Like 4 years later, 180 episodes.
Maybe by episode 200, we can start streaming.
So one of these days, we're just going to be like, all right, well, let's just do this. And boom, there you go. We'll be up on streaming on Twitch.
Maybe.
See all my stupid facial expressions and watch us live if you want.
And my bad hair. I'll probably have to start wearing a hat when we record then.
Yeah, your hair is pretty rad.
It's really short right now. It's much better than it was last week.
It looks like you got your ears lowered.
Anyway, moving along. Remember to rate and review us on iTunes or Apple Podcasts if you happen to be one of those lovely Apple users out there. Of course, that helps with the algorithms. Don't forget to join our Discord. And links to all this stuff is in the show notes. So if you've got a good podcast player that doesn't suck butt, there's links to all this stuff. Our Discord channel, join it. Leave questions, comments, concerns.
Tell Rick his hair sucks.
There's free games there. If you know how to read, there's a really big list of games. You can come get a free game.
I'm amazed that there's not more of those games taken by now.
Yeah, I'm going to just start giving them away. I was thinking I was going to just read off a game every podcast and force people to take them.
Take it. Take it now. Take it now.
All right. We are out.
Take it now.
See you guys next week. Peace.